Hello, hello, and welcome to our energy update for June 2022. My name is Corey Davidson, and I am here with Yaila Weddle and Peyton Craning. And we're going to give the energy update for this month. And why don't we start with you, Yaila, this month? What have you got? What is the energy? We know it's high. We can feel it right now.
We definitely can. Well, thank you, ladies. I always love our monthly energy reports. I know a lot of people look forward to them. So let me just tap into the collective energy really fast and we'll jump right in. And I always just like to ask for a blessing for anybody tuning into these videos to receive the information, the guidance, and the healing for their highest and best good. Please guide me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm getting a couple colors for the collective. I am getting a deep purple color, and then I'm also getting almost like burgundy maroon colors. Let me just see what that's about, because that's not typical. So I'm asking what the deep burgundy maroon color for the collective is representing for the month of June. It looks like, and it's so funny because they were bringing me this message a few days ago about watching what story you are attaching to whatever's going on in your life. And so it feels like there's a lot of, just like we've had the last few months, just a lot of swirly energy, a lot of stuff coming up to the surface, some things a little more intense than others. But the maroon kind of burgundy color that they are highlighting is more about the stories we are telling about ourselves and other people based off of the energies that we are processing. So they want us to be really mindful about what we're putting on loop within our own beliefs, our own thoughts, our own inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. And they keep repeating the story that we are attaching to things going on around us. So for one, be hyper cognizant about where your thoughts and beliefs are going. And be sure to tune into a video that we recently recorded on truth versus perception, because a lot of the things that we are thinking is true, the story we are attaching to it is really just a perception, whether from yourself or from somebody else. So that is first and foremost. Let me just see what this purple color is. They're almost giving me the, the keep calm and carry on kind of phrase, but the purple is representing a calmness and more of attaching your energy to your own center, your own calmness, and grounding in your peace. What is peaceful for you? What is joyful for you? What brings you calm and security? Really ground into that. So paying attention to where your center is focused, because our center feels like it's kind of getting batted around this month, if not already. So finding your calm, finding your center, finding where you can ground into your own heart chakra is a great place to start. Let me just ask, what is information that could be useful or helpful for the collective for the month of June 2022? Similar to what they gave me last month. Last month, they kind of gave me the image of putting your arm around somebody else's shoulder, like we're in this together. This month, they're giving me, it's almost that hand reaching out to help lift somebody up. So reaching for those lifelines, reaching to be a lifeline to somebody else. We're looking at the connections and the partnerships that we have in the month of June. It feels like May through the rest of the year is really where that energy started. And so looking at who are those lifelines in your life right now and who can you be a lifeline to, because it feels like these connections and these collaborations are going to be really highlighted for the month of June. So getting really clean on your energy connections with other people. So if there's anything that needs to be, any air that needs to be cleared up, if there's anything that needs to kind of be put to rest, if there's anything that needs to kind of be said to help yourself move forward or to help other people move forward, reaching out and being that lifeline to someone to help clear up that energy, and doing that for yourself too is going to be very, very helpful for the month of June. Let me just ask if there's any last little things they want to add. The last thing that they're just adding in is we are in our progress to next levels of all of the next steps that we are choosing to step into. So the process has already begun. We're going to continue this momentum, and they really want you to ground into your heart chakra. So again, bringing back that calmness, that center, that groundedness. You've already taken steps to the path that you're aligning to. And so there's not a lot to be figuring out at this time. It's really just bringing yourself on board physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all in alignment. Because right now we're kind of pulling those pieces back together, and the motions have already been put into place. And now it's just kind of letting things align where they need to align. So just know you're kind of recalibrating everything, you're rebalancing everything. There's no new information you need, but it's more of giving yourself that time and space to let things line up, match up, inside and with the people and situations around you. So see if there's any last little things they want to add for June. They're bringing in the last little mantra of you are safe. So again, connecting back into your core, your truth, your own groundedness. Your safety comes from you first, and then that ripples out into the world around you. So if you want to adopt a mantra for this month, it is I am safe and nurtured. All right, I'll leave you with all of that for the month of June, and switch it over to you, Peyton. What do you have from the Pleiades?
Thanks, Yaila. Hey guys, I'm Peyton, and I channel the Pleiadian High Council. And so when I checked in with them this week to see what we can expect in June, they really came in with a bang. So what they said to me was, everything that you know as your reality will cease to be. And I've never heard them say anything like that before. So I'm like, okay, you have my attention. What is going on? So what they wanted us to know for June is that we are going through a period of great shifts. And they have been talking to us over the past, really about a year, about how our timelines are separating. And they told us 2 months ago that we would be seeing less and less of the timelines that we were not on. But at the time, a couple months ago, they said, you're not really going to see that with your physical eyes quite yet. Well, now what they are saying for June is we are going to start to actually physically see evidence of that. And the way that they said that you can look for this evidence is notice as you go out in the 3D world. Just look at people around you having just normal everyday conversations, going about their life. And they said you will start to be able to see that you are physically on another plane of existence than most of the population. And when they said that, I got chills all over my body, because I've noticed in the past couple of weeks, whenever I go like to the grocery store or go shopping and I'm just out in the world, I can hear people having just regular conversations, and I can tell that we are in completely different worlds. So check for that in the month of June, because what this will do is start to give you confirmation of how much you have shifted. You will start to actually see that you are on a different timeline, a different path than the majority of people around you. And so it's great validation of your progress. So they said, start to look for that in June, because we are going to start to see the manifestation of all of this work that we've been doing. So the next thing that I always ask them is, what are the themes for the month? You know, what are we going to be clearing in the collective? What energies are going to be coming to the surface? And they said that June is all about freedom. So they said that the collective will be processing a lot of enslavement energy, victim energy will be coming to the surface. So we're going to be very focused on the energy of freedom. And the one thing that they wanted to remind us as these energies may start to come up, they said the only thing that enslaves you is your mind. And so they're always encouraging us to, when we start to get pulled into the outside world, to bring ourselves back to what we want to create, because it's all coming from your mind, your thoughts and your beliefs. So that's something that you want to kind of keep your eye on in June is, are you feeling that loss of sovereignty? Like you're being pulled into things outside of your control? Are you seeing that in the world around you? And if so, I asked the Pleiadians if they had any advice for us, any action steps we can take if we feel these energies coming to the surface. And they had 3 steps for us. The first thing they said is your imagination is everything. So they encourage us to really use our imagination, use our intention, and stay focused on, as they always say, on what you want to create. They said your imagination is not just fantasy time. They said that is how you build your world. So spend more time in what you want to create and not what is around you that has already been created. Step number 2, if you are, again, dealing with some of these issues coming up around freedom, lack of freedom, the second thing they encourage is go back to your healing work. So they said shadow work is going to be very important in June. So use your shadow work for anything that is still triggering you, anything that is making you feel unsafe. The shadow work is going to help you cut those remaining strings that are still tying you to some of the denser timelines. So June is going to be a great month. Just dust off your tools again, especially whenever you feel like you're getting triggered by the outside world. Or when you start to get into that mindset of the bad guys. They said it's all within your control. So shadow work is the second thing they recommend for June. And then number 3 is something they don't talk about quite as often, but I think we have done a video on this. They said it would be very beneficial to review your soul contracts. It's time to release any remaining soul agreements that are not what you want to carry forward on your timeline as you move forward. Because as starseeds, we carry so much from the past that is just not in our conscious awareness. And so they said that June is a good time to release those unhelpful soul contracts. So I think that the ladies and I did a video on this a while back. So you may want to go back and refresh yourself if you don't have a great process in place for working on your soul contracts. But one shortcut that the Pleiadians always love to teach people, if this is something that's newer to you, is just to every day make the affirmation that I release any agreements that are not based in love. That is a very simple, all-purpose way to start canceling out contracts that don't serve you and start using your free will to steer yourself in a more beneficial direction. So that's a great affirmation you can use if soul contracts are a newer concept to you. So freedom is going to be one of those things that is going to be the main thing we are working through in the month of June. And then finally, they said the second theme that will be coming up in June is detachment. And so what they mean by that is that it's time for us to cut any remaining cords to things that are tying us down. So that means kind of taking a look at your life and being very self-honest and seeing where are you still humoring people who are toxic? Where are you still going back to old patterns that you know don't serve you? Where are you still doing things out of a sense of obligation? They said it's time to clean house. It's time to cut those remaining threads that you know you need to cut. So this is a good time to release any of these things that we all know. We have a couple of those little things that we still play with, even though we know we shouldn't. So this is a good time to clean that up. And they say it's very important to do it from a sense of detachment, a sense of neutrality. We don't want to get into a sense of judgment over it, but they say it's time to do a final house cleaning in June, because things are about to start changing very quickly. And the way they wrapped up their message for us, they said, everything will change in an instant. So they want us to use June to do our final cleaning of our house. So that's what the Pleiadians had for us for the month of June. They really never cease to make an entrance. So Corey, what are you getting for the astrology for June?
Wow. As I always say in every energy update, is I always love doing these energy updates because it's amazing how we all get very similar messages. And so the astrology for June 2022, wow. And it coincides with what both of you said. On the 3rd of June, we have Mercury going direct. And this last Mercury retrograde was tough. I don't know about you, but my phone was glitching, the computers were glitching, everything was glitching because it was in its home sign of Gemini. And it was so strong. So Mercury is finally going direct on June 3rd. However, it's going to highlight the lunar eclipse in Scorpio that we had in May. And so a lot of those things, communication, there's going to be, new ideas, new communication, but it's going to be reactivating that lunar eclipse. And there's a lot of aspects. I normally don't talk about aspects. I generally will do the basic astrology for the month, but I feel as though it's important to mention some of these aspects. We're going to have Mercury, it's going to be conjunct with Saturn, and Mercury is the communication, Mercury, the mind planet. It's going to be, and that will start on the 4th. And Saturn is the restrictive planet. So there's going to be issues around censorship and possibly new social media platforms coming up. And just a reminder is that we have Pluto in Capricorn, and it started in January 21st of, I want to say 2008. Can't remember what that date was. Anyways, but Pluto is in Capricorn until 2024. What is Pluto in Capricorn? This is a long-term energy. Pluto is the underground, dark secrets, children, and Capricorn is structures, all the higher up structures. That's what it rules. And so we are going through a period of time on our planet where the old structures are being torn down, whether we like it or not. Pluto in Capricorn tears down old, higher, structures, government, banks, schools, institutions that are no longer serving humanity, because Saturn is in Aquarius. That is humanity. So we have this going on till 2024. And then we also have Uranus in Taurus, and that started in May of 2018 and is going to go till April of 2026. Uranus is the planet of sudden change. It rules electricity. And Taurus rules agriculture and money and the finer things in life. And so when Uranus is in Taurus, it's about our food supply and sudden changes. And Taurus is the turtle. The Taurus is the bull. You cannot get Taurus to move fast at all. And Uranus is quite the opposite. It is the fastest, swiftest moving planet. And so there is a push-pull. So just a reminder that, from now until 2024 and 2026, we are tearing down the old structures. So when Peyton, you mentioned about timelines, you know, we are living on, we have several timelines going on right now. The good news is we have a choice as to which timeline we want to be on. So we can either get into that, you know, Pluto, you know, we're going to see it in the beginning part, at least the first week of June, is that Mercury going direct, reactivating that lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is all the stuff. So take a look at what you were, you know, what was going on for at the lunar eclipse for you. You know, it was, we were reviewing that during the Mercury retrograde, and now it's going to be reactivated again. So hopefully you took that opportunity to kind of review what was going on. You know, Mercury, and it was in Taurus, right? No, it was in Gemini. It's now going direct in Taurus. All right. And that's just the, you know, the 3rd and the 4th of June. So, you know, also, you know, with Mercury going direct, we have new facts, new facts coming out, new info. But also with Mercury squaring Saturn, it's going to be, you know, Saturn is control and rules and regulations, and which is in Aquarius society. So we have Saturn going retrograde on the 4th of June. So that is control, you know, Saturn is control, rules and regulations, and it's in the sign of Aquarius, which is society. So it's a time for interest, you know, we're going to have some introspective and control. And is control appropriate for us? You know, it's also connecting to the full moon. It's a super full moon in Sagittarius, that Saturn retrograde. So what does Sagittarius rule? Beliefs, freedom, truth, and justice. Right? As you were saying, Peyton, you know, that's what the Pleiades were saying. And Mars is also a very, very heavy aspect and energy that we're going to have for June. And, you know, Mars is like the future, fighting for a cause, right? It's that, you know, moving forward, future, the self. So those aspects are also with this Saturn retrograde that's going to happen on the 4th. And it's also connected to the full moon, the super full moon in Sagittarius, which will happen on the 14th of June. All right. Then we have on June 13th, Mercury is going to enter Gemini, which is really, you know, it's good because it's going to be in its home sign. And it's going to be, you know, a very sharpening of the mind, you know, our thoughts, new ideas, communication. You know, Mercury is communication. Mercury is the teacher. Mercury is the fact, you know, it's Mercury, you know, Mercury and Gemini are like the researchers, you know, you're just hungry for information. So that's happening June 13th. And then on June 14th, Venus, the North Node, Uranus, all connect into Gemini. So it's a lot of energy, right? So we have to beware of erratic behavior because the North Node is our destiny point. So we have our personal North Node for our life's journey. Then we have the collective North Node for everyone. And because it's with Uranus, which is the sudden movement, fast moving planet, you know, things can, you know, earthquakes, you know, electrical grids going out, or, powering up. We have to beware of very erratic, strong energy. And the day that we're filming this, the energy is very, very strong. So we're starting to feel it already. Chiron and Mars are in Aries. We have a lot of that Mars, Aries energy. And with Chiron, Chiron is the wounded healer. And this is also on the 14th, okay? Chiron is the wounded healer. And Mars is also Chiron, and Mars are in Aries. And Mars is Aries is ruled by Mars. And so your emotions, the wounded healer, Mars and Aries, driving forward. It's a fire sign, so it's like, Watch out for emotional burnout, physical burnout, adrenal exhaustion, because we already have the energy, that's ramped up from day 1 of June. All right. So the two timelines possibly could be, go, do, or we can choose to do more meditation when the energies get really strong. That energy is going to be very strong. And which timeline are you going to choose? You can choose to be on a peaceful, loving, compassionate timeline, or you can run with the wolves. Which wolf are you going to feed? Okay. On the 21st, we have the summer solstice, and the sun moves into Cancer. So it's the first day of summer, June 21st. Well, thank goodness. So Cancer is about the home. It's about our body, our inner temple. So it seems as though, I always say that 1/2 of the month is in one sign, which is going to be Gemini, and the second half of the month is going to be in another sign, which is Cancer. Okay. And so it's a good time. It's a good time to materialize for yourself and take a look at your home and what, it's like that spring cleaning. It's like the summer. We want to get out. We want to have fun. We want to play, because of a lot of the Saturn square that we've had for a couple of years now. If you don't get your work done, you can't go out and play. So make sure that by the summer solstice that you get your responsibilities done, that it's the perfect month to get a lot of things done. So we can use this energy. So on a personal level, it'll be great for getting things done, organizing, doing the things that you've put off. On the collective level, we're going to see a lot of chaos, a lot of structures being brought down. And it needs to happen because we're moving into the Aquarian age. And to know that there is an end point, that we can get to that end point if we choose that timeline. So it's going to be a lot of energy out in the collective. But personally, we can get a lot of things done. June 28th, Neptune is going retrograde. So Neptune is the planet of deception, foggy, energy, where you don't see things very clearly. And also Uranus and the North Node are going to be in Taurus. So expect the unexpected. Uranus and Taurus with the North Node, that destiny point. Things could happen, on a dime, flick of an eye, snap of a finger. So it's a time to, Taurus digs their heels in. Sorry, Taurus. I know it's hard for you guys to be spontaneous, but you can do it. And Uranus is forcing you to do it. But around the 28th, with Neptune going retrograde and Uranus in the North Node coupled together in Taurus, expect the unexpected. And it's really the true teaching of living in the moment. So if you choose to procrastinate, like I said, the energy is there to support you to get a lot of things done. But if you procrastinate, it'll come back to bite you in the butt. So June, most of June is a great time to get a lot of work done. Again, on the 14th, we have that full moon, the super full moon in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is, you know, higher knowledge, advanced awareness. It's a fire element. So it's accelerating, it's bold, it's adventurous. So it's going to be a big catapult because of all the other aspects that are going to be supporting that. And then June 28th, on top of Uranus in the North Node and Neptune in retrograde, we have the new moon in Cancer. So, you know, new moons are about manifesting, setting your intentions. And it's great energy to see, you know, what lights you up, what gets you excited. You know, relationships, like you said, Yaila. This is a big month. Relationships. What relationships work for you? What don't work for you? Which timeline? You know, which timeline are you on? Chaos, drama, going down with the ship, or I always love to say peace, love, Bobby Sherman. You know, peace, love, compassion. We do have a choice. And the energies in June are very, very strong, catapulting us into our destiny points because we have a lot of aspects to the North Node, which is our destiny points. So let's see, anything else? I believe that is it. Neptune will be retrograde in Pisces. So always when Pisces is the 12th house, you can, you know, be in bliss, start a spiritual program, a spiritual practice, you know, reviewing any form of spiritualness in your life, or you can escape, because Pisces is also escapism. You can escape into drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever form of escape that you that we all have, but it's a choice. We do have choices. And dreams, you know, that when Neptune goes retrograde, you'll have a lot of dreams. We will all have a lot of dreams to tell us what it is that we are supposed to be reviewing in that Neptune. I mean, the Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So I believe that is it. So just remember, with Neptune, everything is not what it seems. So when it goes into retrograde, we're going to get more information. I think that's really, that's all I have, which is a lot. I always try and keep these short, but boy, I'll tell you, we've had a lot going on astrologically. So anything else that you ladies would like to add? Well, we're so glad that you joined us for our energy update. It's becoming very popular. And so please remember to like, share, and subscribe all of our channels. They'll be posted below, as Peyton always likes to do, posted below. And we'd like to have your comments. If there's anything any topics that you want us to talk about, just let us know, because we do these videos for you. Well, enjoy your June. Be easy on yourself. Remember that love and compassion will help a lot. Thank you for coming. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.